So this right here, Chris is upbeat, optimistic. Next game, you'll see why it's so jarring.
I like it how he says it's worth it when you're thinking, no it isn't, because this arsehole comes along and he's called Nero Umbrella and fucks the world over with zombies. Again. What kind of fucking ending is this? Fuck that ending.
Okay, there are the credits.
My god, I fucking hate that boss fight. We were doing everything that was right. All we had to do was get a rapid firing sniper rifle. That was it!
Just keep pummeling him. When he's far enough away from Sheva, which somehow works, it doesn't matter if he's... It matters if he's 5 feet away at the edge, but if he's 20 to 30 feet away, oh, then it's okay. Then Sheva can muster the will to survive.
Yeah, and as I said, you need a weapon that could stagger him, and you could do a rapid fire as well.
But again, I found that odd. At least on the PS3 version, when we did it, it was good enough to use. It was okay to use the bolt action rifle as long as.
Sorry, my screen's flickering.
But like I was saying, it was okay to use a bolt action rifle as long as you kept hitting him in the molten orb. But here, apparently, that doesn't work as well.
Yeah, I mean, you can't increase. You can't. No, you can't. Can you increase the fire rate?
Fire rate, no. Capacity and
reloading speed.
Yeah, and firepower, yeah, but not firing rate.
No, so when I was using the bolt action, I was staggering him, but I couldn't fire quick enough to keep him staggered. When I got the new sniper rifle there, he was getting staggered. I don't have to keep firing and firing and firing, but there was this moment where you fire, he comes back to normal, you fire, he's staggered again, and you do it repeatedly.
I think with the bolt action rifle, you need to be dead on and hit a certain point, because like I said, it worked for us. Maybe we just didn't discover the right way.
I was even doing it with the pistol. I mean, I just didn't understand what we were doing. I mean, I thought that, oh, we can get the boulder, and then Chris can jump over, help you up, and then we can bugger off. And then that didn't work, because for some reason the game's like, no, fuck you, you're not getting on that boulder.
That was just poorly done. No, there's no excuse for the way everything works out. It has to be timed just perfectly, and you can't break the sequence of events.
I know. I mean, you could probably do the Wesker thing when he's in the second stage with a handgun, but that actually is, unless you're a very good aimer, I doubt that'll work.
So okay, we have been tearing into the final boss fight, and understandably so, but the credits have come up, JammyONE, and now we need to give our opinions on the game itself.
It's better than 6, worse than... It's basically... This is how we sum up Resident Evil 5. It's basically Resident Evil 4, but not as good. It feels like Resident Evil 4, but with less creativity.
Resident Evil 4 with black guys, basically.
Yep.
Let me see here.
Are you saying black people are not creative?
No, not that. I'm talking about just the different enemies you fight. But let me see, about the game itself. As a co-op game, I think it's pretty damn solid. I mean, it's probably not the best co-op game out there, but it's still fun enough, frustrating parts aside. Yeah,
I understand that, but I can simply point at Gears of War 2.
I don't know about that game and when it came out.
Gears of War 2 had a fantastic co-op.
As for the single player of this game, single player mode, I didn't like how some of the characters were portrayed. I didn't like some of the stylistic decisions, like turning Jill Valentine into Samus meets Nina Williams, as we've said before.
Yeah.
I didn't like how Chris became so much more gritty. I don't know, maybe he was hardened in the years between Code Veronica and 5. Wesker, he was charming, yeah, he is likable in a goofy sort of over-the-top sort of way, hammy way, of course.
A James Bond villain.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if the writing supported his character change. It didn't seem to fit everything we've seen before of him.
Yeah.
He wasn't really this brazen, let's say.
We didn't really, well, I don't remember seeing much, because I only know he made an appearance in 1, Code Veronica, and he made an appearance in 4. But
Very brief.
But you gotta remember, I have not played all the games.
Very brief appearance in 4. In fact, you could miss it if you blink. What else? Single player mode. I think the pacing was pretty decent. There were a lot of cliches. Can't really get around that. So I would give the main game on its own, co-op aside, maybe a 7. or so, 7.5 if I'm feeling generous. Co-op, 8.5.
8.5. We're going for the 8.5. Well, I don't really give numbers. I just say what they are.
I usually don't. I have to talk about something else to keep my mind off of that dreadful final boss fight.
If it is this if it wasn't, it's because we were just having no clue what we're doing, especially when we were doing what we were supposed to do all the time. For some reason the game was punishing us because we were doing what we were supposed to do. Okay.
How dare we think logically?
How dare we? How dare we? I mean, we were running about trying to look for fucking walkthroughs and seeing what the hell we were doing wrong.
I was this close to getting some kind of a rapid fire program for my keyboard because I was thinking, why can't Sheva just pull herself up? Why can't she just do that? But in the end, thankfully, we didn't need to resort to any kind of third-party measures.
No, my God. And then it's quite amazing how this is basically Resident Evil 4, but unoriginal and with less good stuff in it. And then you get Resident Evil 6, that game.
So do you really think if Sheva had been cut out completely, the game would have been much better?
I actually think that because, as I said, when the original trailers came out for Resident Evil 5, Chris did look like that, but he was not as buff as what you've seen him. There was no Sheva. They had a lot more claustrophobic areas instead of the wide open areas you've seen. And I don't know what the enemies are like because once again, in the very very early trailer, they didn't really show it. It was just shadows. But as I said, I think I heard some things saying that it was a claustrophobic environment, and also it had a night and day cycle, where it really becomes very different when it becomes night. Not when the night sequence in this. I mean, it wasn't really that different. We didn't fight any Ouroboros in the night, did we? Well, we only fought that giant troll guy.
The cave troll dude, yeah.
That was it. We didn't really explore the night, so that thing I could play mercenaries. Yay! You can select Sheva in new chapter,
Wow.
new game plus.
Wow, I actually managed to get the better score at the end. Oh yeah, give it up. Rigitsu is a better player.
How the fuck did you get the better score?
Just because I keep consistently killing more enemies, even though my accuracy is
Even
worse.
though there was only one fucking enemy.
I think they counted the last part where we fought the Reapers and stuff. And the big chain gun
Yes, end of
dudes.
chapter. What the fuck yeah, sorry, what am I talking about?
Yeah, it's not like I killed 27 Weskers.
I know, it's just because I'm so fucking focused on that last part, I'm forgetting the others. And then of course there's the DLC for this, there's the Return Nightmare, which I don't think this came out on Steam. Oh no, wait, because since Microsoft with its live service, it must have got rid of the DLC for it because it's a bit different or something like bullshit like that.
So basically, if this game had not had the Resident Evil title and or gotten rid of the partner, it would have been a lot better.
It probably would have been, but I think the original designs for Resident Evil 5, if there were any original designs for it, I would have probably think it would be a lot better because it probably would have been more like Resident Evil 4, but in Africa. But also with Chris, and God knows who else they would have had in there. I know Shiva was in the game, but she didn't play a big, a huge role into it.
She wasn't as integral to the story.
She was part of a resistance, I believe. Anyway, this call an end to that shitstorm, and because you know what, that boss fight is what really overshadows most of the game anyway.
Yeah, it permanently scarred us, let's put it that way.
Yeah, when you had a really bad boss, it's kind of like Mass Effect 3 when you heard about the ending, but I've seen the ending, and when that ending happened, I'm just like, you completely ruined 3 games of my experience and for nothing. Squash. That's actually more crushing than the boss fight you had in here, because at least it was one game, and it ruined. You could say it ruined the completely of the game, or ruined the last couple of levels for that, because we were so focused on the fucking boss. But in Mass Effect 3, with that ending, oh god, that's just destroyed all 3 games.
But in this case, I'd say the ending boss fight, as bad as it was, and as much as it hurt the last chapter, it didn't really hurt the entire game.
No. Oh, by the way, I've got to say, the original Mass Effect 3 ending, not the DLC one. I don't want people getting confused saying, "Fuck you, JammyONE, it was fixed," you know. If you hate the fixed one, and all that, I don't want people getting, you know.
It shouldn't have had to be fixed in the first place. It's a game ending, not a inconsequential glitch with a vendor or something. It's a damn ending to the game.
Well, I don't know what happened with BioWare then, but here, well, BioWare now is pretty much a gutted fish.
I feel like eating some fish.
Especially when the original, the founder members are now, you know, buggered off. Oh, BioWare, ever since you joined EA, I don't know if EA bought them out or something, but it's kind of like what Activision did to Infinity Ward. You know, with the SWAT team and all that.
They called in a SWAT team.
It was that bad, yes. Anyway, let's stop rambling. Anyway, people, hope you enjoyed this Resident Evil 5 co-op. It took fucking forever to finish, but we finally did it. And of course, we get to you were much of a talker at the end, because you was just...
I was in my zone. I was trying to focus and just be the sharp knife to be wielded and complete the game with. But in the end, it seems that a lot of bullets was what was needed, and all my focus was for nothing.
I find it funny how Wesker was talking about, oh, we need to, you know, extinct the human race, and because, you know, this and that, which I'm reminded of, who was the soldier guy in Resident Evil 4 that he knows Leon and Leon knows him? He's got the red Beretta.
You mean the beret?
The beret, I mean, not Beretta, sorry about that.
Yeah, Jack Krauser.
Krauser. The reason he joined up with the fucking fake religious order is like, there was too much chaos in the world and I had to roll my eyes. Fuck you, man.
But Wesker even contradicts himself. He says, very few humans matter back in the hangar. Then later on he goes, humanity is as a scourge upon the earth and all whatever. I'm just paraphrasing, but it's all the same gibberish. So he changes his mind one plane ride later.
I find it funny, yeah, and then I'm like, how is this your plan to become God? I have no idea. I have no idea when he thinks, yeah, you know, Ouroboros across the entire world, this is gonna work. I'm like, no it isn't.
So he planned to be the leader of a planet full of tentacles. That was his grand plan. I think he would have had some regrets once it actually came to fruition.
Yeah. And of course, we've not really seen any kind of... I don't remember seeing any intelligent Ouroboros whatsoever. Unless you want to count the really manky guy we just killed on the boat. With the miniguns, of course.
Yeah.
In the swamp, but... I don't think you can call him a true Ouroboros, I'm not sure. Hang on, he can keep his personality, but the others can't keep the personality? What the fuck?
Oh, you're talking about Rat Trap, 70s punk rocker dude, Ricardo Irving, right?
Yeah. So it's a bit odd with that. I mean, he can keep his personality, he can keep his individuality, but not the woman? I mean, the one who turned into tentacles?
Maybe the one that they gave him was more tested, but less overall powerful.
Maybe. Anyway, let's stop jabbling. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you for the next one. Toodaloo!
See you later, folks.